Hi everyone, and welcome to your first tutorial on reading the periodic table. So the periodic table consists of all of the known elements organized together. So the periodic table actually has a lot of information in it about each of the elements. So knowing how to read it is actually essential for knowing how to do chemistry. So each element in the periodic table has its own square. So I'm going to teach you how to read the information about the element from its individual squares. Later on, I'll teach you how to look at the periodic table as a bit more of a whole and get the information from where it's situated on the periodic table. So let's then have a look at an individual square. So overall, or generally, the information in each square for each individual element tells you the same type of thing. So we are going to look at or see the name of the element, we'll see the symbol of the element, we'll see the atomic number, and we'll also see the atomic mass. So those words probably don't mean a whole lot to you just yet, but we're going to look a little bit more and I'll explain to you what each of those are. So I've picked magnesium here to look at a little bit more closely. I think the name is quite self-explanatory. So in this case, the name of the element is magnesium, and the name basically just tells you what element it is that you're looking at. We then have the symbol, and this is an abbreviated form of the original word for the element. So for magnesium here, it's abbreviated to Mg. If we look back at our periodic table, we have hydrogen here, and that's just abbreviated to H. If we go down one more, we have lithium, and that's abbreviated to Li. But not all names are abbreviated quite as nicely as this. If we were to go down and have a look at lead, for example, down here, lead's abbreviation is Pb. And that's because they've kept the abbreviation from the original Latin name of lead, which is actually plumbum. And so therefore they've kept it Pb. So you might be looking at a couple other elements on the table and thinking, why on earth do they have those letters? And that's usually because they've kept the abbreviations from their Latin names. Now let's have a look at then the atomic number. So the atomic number for our magnesium here is 12. So the atomic number actually comes from the amount of protons that an element has. So it tells us the amount or number of protons an element has in an atom. So again, if we go back to our periodic table and we had a look at hydrogen, we can see it has an atomic number of 1, and this means that it only has one proton. We look at helium, it has an atomic number of 2, meaning it has 2 protons. And we go down to lithium, it has an atomic number of 3 protons. Beryllium, 4, and if you continue looking across here, 5 for boron, 6 for carbon, 7 for nitrogen, 8 for oxygen, 9 for fluorine, and 10 for neon. So as you can see here that the atomic number increases by 1 each time as we move across the periodic table. So the final thing for us to look at then is the atomic mass. So the atomic mass here of magnesium is 24.305. The average mass of the atomic mass, is the average mass of the atoms in an element. It's measured in what we call atomic mass units, or AMUs. And this is the same as saying that our weight is measured in kilograms. The atomic mass of an atom is measured in AMUs. So the mass of an atom actually comes from the number of protons and neutrons in the atom. Looking back at the periodic table, you'll notice that if we start up at hydrogen again and look at the atomic mass, it starts at about 1, and if we move across our periodic table to helium, it increases, so it has an atomic mass of 4. If we go down to lithium here, it has an atomic mass of about 7, and you'll see if you look across the table here, there is a trend of the increase of the atomic mass with the increase also of the atomic number. So as you can see, the periodic table is actually incredibly organized. So I hope that this tutorial helped you in learning how to read the periodic table, and the next tutorial will go a little bit more in depth as how to read the periodic table more as a whole.